Here in Grodno, in November 27, 1877, Joseph Golden was born. His life was to play a significant role in the Jewish history of New Milford. Joe Golden grew up in surroundings such as these. His only schooling was a cheder, where he learned the Jewish prayers and prepared for his bar mitzvah. When he was 19, he entered the military service. Joe Golden arrived at Castle Garden in 1898, and he went through the usual clearing procedures and medical exam. The most obvious field was the clothing business, so he became a door-to-door pack peddler. After a year, he was able to buy a horse and cart, and his route took him from Poughkeepsie to New Milford. In 1900, he and his brother Ezra opened a dry goods store on Railroad Street. In 1910, Ezra decided to go into farming on land later owned by Scoville's on Aspaduck Road, and Joe became the sole proprietor. In 1937, Joe took his sons into business, moving into Bank Street, and the firm was called Joseph Golden and Sons. When Joe Golden settled into Milford in 1900, there were two Jewish families living there, both prominent citizens. Max Neisner, whose father Jake arrived from Russian Poland in 1870, and Alexander Levy, whose father Louis came to America from London, England in 1869. The Neisner family ran a chain of stores. In 1890, Max Neisner donated this captain's chair with a plaque bearing his name to Waterwich Hose Company. It stands there today. Alexander Levy ran a store at the present location of Grove Office Supplies on Bank Street. He was a judge of the town court of New Milford and was a 33rd degree Mason. Neisner ran a store located at the present store of Party Favors on Bank Street. Merrill Golden, son of Joseph Golden, who has collected the history of his family and early Jewish life. In 1908, his father married Eva R. Ephron, a prominent Jewish resident of Poughkeepsie, New York. In 1910, his father organized the first Jewish congregation in New Milford, named after his grandfather Aaron. Merrill received his Hebrew education from a traveling rabbi. At the age of 5, Merrill had a Hebrew vocabulary of over 200 words. The first bar mitzvah in New Milford took place in 1913, and here you say, C. Herman Gartner, 87 years of age, the first bar mitzvah. His father ran a tailor shop on Railroad Street. And this is the site of where services were held in the congregation. In the 1920s, Jake and Rose Sakratoff moved into New Milford, and their daughter Evelyn Sakratoff became secretary. In 1928, an attractive Jewish teacher, Helen Lotion, in her late teens, came from Danbury to New Milford by train, seeking a job. She was educated at the Danbury Normal School, and here she's seen with Rabbi Molino. She was educated at Danbury Normal School and had 1 week of on-the-job training. Attorney Norman Doobie was the first professional of the Jewish faith to practice in New Milford. His offices were in the United Bank building, and he became a judge of the Superior Court. He married Ann Golden, daughter of Harry Golden. Harry ran a shoe and clothing store on Railroad Street, and he always kept a barrel of herring for his Jewish customers. Joseph Golden died in 1947, and with his passing came the end of an era and the demise of Congregational Beth Aaron. He left a precious legacy and a fine family of children and grandchildren. Mr. Golden chose to be a man of family, of God, and of character. He was self-educated, yet could read and write in 5 languages: English, Russian, Polish, Yiddish, and Hebrew. His counsel and assistance were often sought by many. In the years following World War II, New Milford experienced a considerable influx of Jews. In the absence of a synagogue, those seeking affiliation traveled to Danbury. In December 1958, the New Milford Jews to form its own congregation. The group joined the UAHC, a reform institution. The First Congregational Church graciously made its community room available for services. Louis Golden, grandson of Joseph Golden, did the honors in the groundbreaking ceremony. And soon, Temple Shalom began to take form and shape. Temple Shalom enjoys a beautiful building. The Torahs were brought by foot across the bridge to the new home. Today, every Jewish family can take pride in Temple Shalom.